If you've heard that it's now illegal to sleep in your car anywhere in America, that's not actually true. But the truth is still hard, and it's hurting real people. So far, there's no federal law banning people from sleeping in their car or RV. What has changed, though, is that some cities and states have passed or strengthened local laws that do restrict where people can park or stay overnight, often under the banner of public safety or cleanliness, which we can understand. But honestly, some of these laws are going too far. Because while those goals matter, the human impact matters too. I think we could all agree that most people aren't sleeping in their car or RV simply because they want to. Some people, yes, absolutely. That's the way of life they've chosen, and they have the right to do that, or at least they should. But in some states, it's getting really, 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 really nasty. And honestly, we have to be straight up about where we are as a country. People are working, they're cutting back, they're doing everything they've been told to do, and still they're falling behind. When rent jumps faster than wages, when emergencies can just wipe out your savings, when shelters are full, what option does someone actually have if they can't even sleep in their car? Being down on your luck isn't a crime, and trying to survive shouldn't be treated like one. And honestly, states like Florida and California are making it extremely difficult for people to be able to do this. In Florida, whole sections of the state, even the Florida Keys, have made it absolutely illegal to sleep in your car anywhere within their jurisdictions. It's also illegal to sleep on the shoulder of most state highways. So if you can't sleep in anywhere, you can't even sleep on the shoulder. They don't even really want you to park in any sort of RV park either overnight. Like, what is the purpose of that? So throughout the state as a whole, it is illegal to sleep in your car unless it's on private property where you have the owner's permission or in a designated camping spot that allows it. That's crazy. I'll be honest, people been raving about going to Florida because there's, more patriotic freedom there and all this other stuff. But this is what they've done, that people can't even sleep in their car. I think this is a bit much. Other states that have restrictions on overnight parking in rest areas include Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. North Carolina limits your stay at these stops to 4 hours, while Tennessee is even stricter by enforcing a 3-hour limit. And then Pennsylvania, you only get 2 hours to park there. Now, the state of New York prohibits sleeping in your car on public property pretty much in general, but I think that's been the case for quite a while. And then in some cities and some municipalities, there are actually laws and ordinances that are against sleeping in your vehicle altogether. For example, you can be charged with a Class 4 misdemeanor in Roanoke County, Virginia, if you're caught sleeping in your car. And it is illegal in Los Angeles or San Francisco to sleep in your car on public property. So again, where are people supposed to go? If most of these people are doing so because they are down on their luck, there's not a lot of these places where you can go and pay for a few hours or pay for overnight parking to be able to stay. Those places get filled up really quickly. So what are people supposed to do? I understand the need for safe, orderly public spaces. No one wants unsafe conditions or communities in distress. But enforcement without solutions only deepens the crisis. We need policies that reflect reality, not just optics. And so often that's what all this stuff boils down to. They want to make sure these communities don't look dirty and grungy, and I totally get it. But you still can't ignore that these people do need support. You can't ignore that. So here's the hopeful part. Because this isn't a federal ban, change is still possible. Local policies respond to pressure. And these politicians will listen, but if you call them and you speak clearly, you speak calmly, and you speak consistently, I can't say that enough. Don't call cursing anybody out. Don't call getting overly emotional. Try to stay balanced. If you don't want to do it and you know that you're going to get too emotional, maybe have somebody else call for you. You can have them call, give the message until you can get to a place where you can calmly convey this message yourself. But if you want to make sure that at least one person that's close to you registers some kind of formal concern with your state congressperson or your federal congressperson so that they can put some pressure on your state folks, then do that. Absolutely do that. So if this issue matters to you, you need to reach out. Let them know that compassion and safety can coexist. We do not have to completely ruin people. We do not have to be so archaic, basically telling people to keep moving. That's what we're telling people. So at how does that end? It doesn't end well, and I think we all know that. So here's some ways to contact your U.S. congressperson, okay? You have these URLs on the screen. Choose either one of these, the Congress one, General for House and Senate, or if you want to go directly to your senator or you want to go directly to your representatives, these are the URLs you want to use. And then here's a simple script that I suggest you read it exactly like this. Exactly like this. You're not trying to rewrite the Constitution. You're just trying to formally log a concern as a constituent, and they will take it and they will log it. They get enough of these, they'll realize there's a problem, there's a buzz that's building, and this is a voting block that can then affect their position. And that's what gets them motivated. So this is what you want to say. I'm a constituent, and I'm concerned about local laws that criminalize people who are sleeping in their vehicles because they have no other options. I support public safety, but I also believe we need humane, practical solutions that reflect the economic reality many Americans are facing. State that. They may ask some questions. They don't often. So don't be offended if they don't ask any questions. Log your complaint with them. They're going to tell you, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Someone to get back. Maybe they won't, but at least it will be on the record. Okay. And then here are some phone numbers. I do believe that most people would get more movement if you call. They get a lot of emails, and I'm sure they check them. Cough, cough. But I think those phones ringing, that's what really gets them motivated. So here you see the numbers on the screen. You're going to read the exact same message, the exact same clear, concise tone you're going to use to convey your concern to them as well. Now, I would suggest if you don't know who your representative is, some people don't. Some people know who their senator is. There's only 2 per state. And some people, though, struggle with the representatives because there can be several because of districts and such. But these are the 2 phone numbers you want to use. You'll see there, they look very similar, but the exchange after the area code is 225 for the representatives and 224 for the Senate. They're probably going to want your zip code. Make sure you're aware of that. I know some people in unhoused sometimes maybe not have a direct zip code, but find one near where you lived before or you were thinking about living, or some zip code in the area where you are, located. Use that. And then if you don't know the representative, just do a quick Google search and find out who that is as well. And then just let them know your zip code, the name of that representative or the senator, and they'll connect you. And then these switchboard numbers are useful when you don't have the direct office number or email. The operator can connect you really quickly. So take advantage of that. And I just want to say, my friends, please help one another. If you know there's people out here under distress who think that they can't sleep anywhere, that's not the case. But things are absolutely much more restrictive. So make sure you're aware. I am going to share a clip at the end here from a gentleman who calls himself the offended outcast. I used a clip of him in the related short to this video. So you can check him out there, but his YouTube handle literally is Offended Outcast. And he really has a finger on the pulse of what's happening here. He lives in his RV and he is quite naturally outraged about this. Nobody should have to be moving constantly in the evening when they're just trying to get some sleep, when they're already distressed about the situation that they're in. It's too much. It's really just too much. So I'm sending nothing but warm wishes to everyone. I feel so horrible about this. I wish that America could get to a place where we didn't have these kind of issues. Because if you go to almost any major city, there's these tent cities. There's areas where people are sleeping in RVs because they've been evicted from homes or lost apartments, or been thrown out of dwellings where they were because some landlord decides they're going to now sell the place, which, no judgment about that. But I'm just saying, people find themselves in these situations for a number of reasons. And it's not usually because somebody's just slacking off and deciding not to live and do what they need to do to maintain themselves. We're in a very interesting time in America. We truly are. But I do believe we can overcome some of these challenges. I absolutely believe that. Call your congressperson, send emails, spread the word. Because without that, it's only going to get more restrictive. Be safe out there, my friends. Peace.
We've entered the next chapter of the affordability crisis, where being poor isn't just difficult, it's becoming criminal. Surviving. Let's be blunt. The system didn't collapse by accident. Housing didn't become unaffordable by coincidence. People didn't suddenly become irresponsible or lazy all at once. And now, cities aren't battling homelessness, they're battling the visible presence of the homeless. They don't want to solve it. They want to hide it. And the easiest way to hide it is to make it illegal to exist without paying someone for permission. If you sleep in the wrong place, crime. If you park too long, crime. If your vehicle looks lived in, crime. If you try to survive outside the system, crime. You're allowed to be broke. You're just not allowed to look broke.